Today is the second in a two-part series that we're doing on the topic of money, giving, blessing, and contentment. We spent some time last week developing a theme that resulted in consideration of Paul's words about contentment in Philippians 4. And one of the things that I use to try and describe what contentment might be about is to describe it as the opposite of worry. One man had concluded that worry was something he didn't want to do anymore. Wasn't helpful. And so he came up with the idea of offering $1,000 to somebody who would do his worrying for him. So he got in a particular setting, made the offer, found a taker. Somebody said, "Sure, I'll do that for you." So let me make sure I got this right. The second man said, "You're going to give me $1,000, and I'm going to do all your worrying for you." That's how this works? Yeah, that's right. Great, I'm on the job. Where's the $1,000? Well, sir, that's the first thing you get to worry about. I'm going to start by giving a brief recap of what we covered last week. We started by looking at the classic text in the Old Testament that describes tithing and God's feelings about it, God's relationships to it in Malachi 3, where God asks very plainly for us to give. And the language is fairly strong and fairly forceful, saying that for those who don't, we're robbing God. So that's pretty strong language. Immediately following that is a promise, where God says, if you will be faithful in this area of your life, try me in this. If you will be faithful in this area of your life, I will pour out blessings upon you. I will open the windows of heaven, pour out blessings upon you, such that you will not be able to do what? Receive it. Right? So we looked at that word blessing, and I specifically wanted to expand the concept of what blessing could mean beyond what was in that text of Malachi. Because in Malachi, that blessing that's promised is very clearly material. It's about protecting crops, which was a big deal to the Israelites. But when we look at blessing, the way it's used throughout the whole Old Testament, it takes on a much broader, a much bigger, a much richer meaning. And so we did that a little bit. And ultimately, as I shared with you last week, when I think of being faithful in tithes and offerings and giving the blessings that come from that, because of my personal experience, I am ultimately drawn to this passage in Philippians 4, where Paul describes contentment. And he uses the words, "I have learned in whatever state I am to be content, whether well-fed or hungry." I don't do well when I'm hungry. And for me, getting over hunger is usually just a trip to the refrigerator. I think Paul's definition of hunger might have been a little more severe. And yet he says, I can be content when I'm hungry or well-fed. And then he goes on in verse 12 to again describe that same principle, except this time he says, he describes it as a mystery. The word is translated secret. I've learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether in plenty or in need. And then he tells us the secret. What I believe is the secret. In verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so then, at the end of last week, I invited you to join me in praying a prayer this week. Here it is again. Dear Father, I choose to be content with what I have. Please strengthen me to continually make this choice. Now, I want to say a couple of things about this prayer. First, the prayer comes as a result of that whole sequence that we described, starting with being faithful in giving. Giving leads to blessing. That's what opens the door for God to bless us and help us with that contentment. The other thing I want to say about this is it's not designed to be or to seem as though it's an easy thing to do. I choose to be content. The language is simple. The actions, not so much. I was reminded of this through a couple of conversations I had after the service last week, and a couple of friends described to me the situations that they're in, how difficult it is to be content. And if that's your situation today, I want to encourage you by saying that this prayer is not something for those who have figured it out. This prayer is for those of us who don't know how to be content, who don't think it's possible in our situation, or aren't sure quite how it works. And so maybe if I were going to make a small change in the language, I would say, "Dear Father, I choose by faith to be content." I'm not content in the moment. but I choose to believe that's a gift you have. I choose to be content by faith. Please strengthen me to continue to make that choice. I want to talk about secrets for a minute, because that word that Paul uses, I like so much that I titled the series after it, is so colorful in my mind. How many of you have seen one of these? Yeah, a few of you. And one of the things that's really cool about this, I'll explain it in a minute, is that the hands that went up were all from the same generation. Right? I remember seeing one of these when I was in college. It's a Rubik's Cube. At least that's what we call it then. Is that still what we call it now? Okay, it's a Rubik's Cube. And I don't have the nerve to do it, but what you can do is you see how these things rotate, right? So you can mess up all the colors. So they're all same colors on each side, nice and pretty, right? But if you rotate them all, you can make them all so that they're not like that. And people that are really good can put it back together in what period of time? How long does it take you to do one of these? I can't quite hear. A minute. Yeah. I didn't hear that either. I probably don't want to hear it. But anyways, what I can remember about Rubik's Cube is when I first came across one of these in college, I spent like an entire afternoon trying to figure it out. And I utterly failed. Now, I don't know, there's probably people that have the mindset that can figure something like this out on their own. I couldn't. I needed help, right? So finally, I got so frustrated, I talked to somebody that I knew had the answer. And he showed me a couple of tricks. And there's a way, first he showed me how to get one side so it's all straight. You know, and that was a relatively simple maneuver. And then there's another maneuver you got to go through to, you know, get that final stretch and get to the end so it's all perfect. And that one took a little longer to figure it out. But eventually, he was able to break through to me, and I figured it out. And I was so proud when I could do this, although there wasn't anybody I could tell, because everybody else already knew how to do it. But I was still very proud. And so, for me, the experience of mastering the Rubik's Cube has some similarities to this secret we're talking about, right? Remember that word that's translated secret implies a mystery or the initiation into a mystery. I'm saying that word, initiation into a mystery. It applies help. It applies help. So there's somebody else helping me out. That's what it took for me to master this. And Easton loaned me his collection. So I'm just going to put a few more of these out here for those of you who like to see things like this as a visual reminder of what this secret is about. It's a process, it's a trick, and it prepares some help. So 3 by 3 isn't enough. Here's a 4 by 4. How long does it take you to do that? So again, I can't hear it. You have to time that, okay? And if that's not good enough, we have a 5 by 5 here. I don't even want to think about that. That gives me indigestion. And then, just in case you'd like to see different angles and shapes, we have a triangular one. And that one makes my head hurt, so I'm going to put that one over here. And then finally, we have this one, which I don't even know how to describe that. Is there a name for this shape? Does anybody know? I don't even know that. Every time I try to count it, I get dizzy. Okay. We can study that after the sermon. I'm going to leave that out there as a little puzzle piece for you. Okay? So, today, I want to spend a few minutes telling you about the structure, the financial structure of the Adventist Church. That's something I promised to do last week. I'll do my best to be focused and to the point and move on because I know it's not necessarily an exciting topic, but I think it's important, particularly if you've made a decision or you're considering making the decision to be supportive of an entity's financial operations, that you have a basic understanding of how money is used. And I just want to provide that today in the summary of the structure. And then I want to share some practical experiences of God's blessing. And so we have a biblical story, story from somebody that many of us know already, and then at the end, Brad's going to come up and share from his personal experience in this room. So let's switch gears and talk a little bit about the Adventist church structure. Very basically, we have multiple layers of church organization. And you'll see up on the screen a little pyramid that shows those layers. We have the local church at that bottom level. The Oklahoma Conference, a state-level sisterhood of Adventist churches within the state of Oklahoma. The next level is the Southwestern Union. That's a collection of multiple states in the southwestern part of the country. And so the Oklahoma Conference is one of several conferences that are part of that union structure. And then the union rolls up to the North American Division, which is the United States and Canada, and there's several unions within that. And then at the apex up there is the General Conference, which is the layer that oversees the 13 world divisions. And so it's just a reminder that the Adventist faith, the Adventist church, is a big organization. At one point, I remember around 20 million members, most of them outside of the United States, and that number has probably changed significantly since I last read it. So it's a lot of people across a lot of countries and cultures with a lot of complexity. Let's take a closer look at what happens at our local level. At the local church level, there's basically three buckets of spending that we do. One is to pay for the pastor's salary. One is to pay for our building, all the operational expenses that go into running the building, utilities, insurance, grounds, repairs. And then one is our local ministries. For example, the series that Brad is organizing and meeting starting on Thursday night, there's cost to running things like that comes out of our local church budget. Okay? So those are kind of the three buckets. What happens at this level, the reason there's two colors here is that one of those activities is funded out of one bucket, the other two are funded out of another bucket. Okay? So in your tithe envelope, the line that's titled tithe supports that pastor's salary. It's in blue, the color doesn't come through real well, but anyways, you can see it on the right-hand side of the screen there. That's funded out of the tithe. The other two areas, the facility and the local programming, are funded out of the church budget line. Okay, so what that means today, and what again the main point I'm trying to get across is that if you have chosen to support the church's financial operations as part of your giving to God, in order to support the church in its entirety, you have to put your funds in two different places, both the tithe and the church budget. I wish it were simpler. I understand there's reasons for it being structured the way it is, and it's been that way for a long time, so I'm not complaining about it. But that's just a necessity of the system that we have in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And so again, I want you to understand that if you want to support the entire operation, you have to put funds in both of those places. And then finally, one last slide on this. I just wanted to explain also that the rest of the layers of the Adventist Church are funded by tithe dollars. So you can see that pictorially there, the pastor's salary at the local level and all of the church structure at the state level and above is funded by tithe dollars. Okay, let me say one other thing about this slide before we switch gears and get back into the practical experiences. I understand that when it comes to making a decision about what to do with your money that you've dedicated to God, and you have questions about what to do with it, that there may be obstacles to giving money to the church. Sometimes it happens because you've had a painful experience with the church. Sometimes it happens for complicated reasons that are beyond that. They don't have anything to do with the relationship with the church or whatever. And so what I want to say to you today is if you're in that situation and you have questions about giving money to the church or whether it's the right thing to do, all of that, I don't have judgment for you. There's a lot of circumstances, a lot of things that go into decisions like that that are beyond my ability to understand or see in your individual situations. So I'm not here to judge you, only to explain the system that we have and the scriptural foundation that we have for it. And specifically and especially, if you're in that spot because you've had a painful experience with the church, I just want to offer my apologies on behalf of the church. I know what happens. The church and its leadership is made up of humans. We're broken. We make mistakes, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes carelessly. And regardless of how it comes about, the results can be very sad. So I apologize if that's happened to you and pray that you will forgive us, forgive me if it needs to be me, and forgive us broadly, and take whatever that pain is to your relationship with God. He is the great healer. He will guide your steps and guard you as you go into the future with that burden. And by His grace, I believe that He will help you release it so that you can overcome whatever pain that is. Let's switch gears again, and this time, to mark the switching of gears, I want to invite everyone to stand up. So that's not something I normally do, but I'm actually up. And while you're standing, what I want to tell you is I learned last week, I think I was reminded last week, that the adult human attention span is about, what was the number? 7 minutes. Right, I think I've used my 7 minutes there on the church structure. Probably after that, lots of people need to stand up. So I wanted to mark this transition by a little physical movement. If you need to move a little bit, just to kind of wake up again and think about something that's more exciting than church financial structure, now's your moment. If you want to turn around in a circle or move your arms a little bit or whatever, it's just marking a transition, refocus our attention. Okay, thank you very much. You may be seated. Genesis 47, verse 7 records this scene. Then Joseph brought in his father Jacob and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Those last words, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh, leap off the page to me, because they're not what I would expect when Jacob meets Pharaoh. Pharaoh is a monarch, an absolute ruler, in charge of a nation of people that at that time was among the most, if not the most advanced civilization on earth. Undoubtedly, he had lots of attendants. He had a very beautiful ornate palace, probably some gold on his throne. He was a big shot. And Jacob was a shepherd, a tribal leader, to be sure. He had a family, about 7 people. I liken this meeting to a meeting where, say, a local official, like an elected school board official here in Davis, or a city council person over in Sulphur, or a county commissioner in Murray County were to walk into the Oval Office and meet the President of the United States. Right? That's about what this feels like to me. And in that kind of situation, with that kind of power relationship, I typically look to the person who has the greater power to be the one doing the blessing. The person that's on the lower end of that spectrum often is a little bit self-conscious, a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit self-absorbed. But not in this situation. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. I put this story up there because to me, when I see that, I think, man, Jacob must have been settled and peaceful and content, at least for that moment. He must have figured out the secret of contentment in that moment because he could bless Pharaoh and turn his attention away from all the things that were unfamiliar, maybe threatening and intimidating, and bless Pharaoh. He was on his game in that moment. And to me, that's interesting, not only because we're talking about the secret of being content, but also because of Jacob's history, right? If you read into the stories that involve Jacob back earlier in the book of Genesis, you'll find multiple references to situations where Jacob was not on top of his game. He had a checkered past. He had some flaws, some brokenness, some things that resulted in pretty ugly situations. And yet here he is, at the end of his life, in this situation with a great monarch, and he's self-present enough to bless Pharaoh. That's good news to me because it says that God never gave up on Jacob. And it's good news to me because as I think about the secret of learning to be content, as I talk to you about the secret of learning to be content in any and every situation, I can promise you that God won't give up on you. And he won't give up on me. I can't help but wonder, as Jacob probably raised his hand and blessed Pharaoh in this situation, if he had in his mind the words that God spoke to his grandfather, Abraham, way back in the beginning, when God called Abraham and said, Abraham, I will bless you, and through you I will bless other nations. And maybe in this moment, Jacob was able to make that connection. Here's an opportunity for me to take that blessing that God gave to my grandfather Abraham and pass it along in some way to this nation through this moment. John Moyer is somebody that's well known to many of us here. He served as the president of the Oklahoma Conference, and before that, executive secretary. And before that, if I understand right, as a pastor. And so he's been around for a long time. In the early days, that's before my time. But many of us have come to know and love and respect John, and so I thought it would be particularly meaningful to share what he wrote about this topic of giving and attending college intimidating. It had been 18 years since I had graduated from high school. Our family had grown to include 5 healthy, active boys. We had very little money, but a strong belief that God was calling us into ministry. We followed the example of Moses for a while, reminding God of how big the problems were and how little we had to contribute to the project. However, doors started to open that only reinforced the call for us to step out in faith and to walk as far as we could see His leading. The staff at Southern Missionary College, now Southern Adventist University, were most supportive, encouraging us that if God was leading us in this direction, He surely would provide for our needs. Several weeks before classes started, we moved into college housing, and I found a job. Soon I received a letter from the school reminding me that a $1,000 registration fee had to be paid before I could start classes. In addition to that, 4 of our boys would need to be enrolled in school, 3 in elementary and 1 in academy. It didn't take a CPA to figure out that my paycheck was not going to cover all this amount. For the next 2 weeks, I alternated between faith and despair. I was sure that God was leading, but I couldn't see how He could accomplish this task. A well-meaning friend suggested that I borrow money, but after praying about this possibility, I didn't feel right about doing it. As the deadline approached, my anxiety level increased. My wife kept reminding me that we were following God's leading while doing everything that we could, and that we could trust Him to provide whatever we needed. Just a few days before the money was due, a letter came from a friend back home. The line I will always remember was, "God has impressed me that you need this." In the 4 years that we were in college, I experienced the same test and God's faithfulness many times. And when graduation day came, we were able to leave school with no debts and a greater trust in God's leading and ability to provide. Trust in the Lord with all my heart, and lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. And finally, we have a personal story. Brad's agreed to come up and share a little bit from his personal experience in this respect. So, Brad?
In case you don't realize it, Christian education is expensive. And when I went to college, I was poor. And I got a job working at the hospital, vacuuming floors. There's six floors at this hospital, 6 in the hospital. I got a job after school at the college to vacuum the floors in the hospital. Anyway, my rent was due, and I knew that I would have enough money for rent. But after I paid my rent and my tithe, I wasn't going to have enough for food. I had also had car insurance and so forth. And when I came to the realization that I had a choice, so I could wait, return tithe later, or I could do it now. It was after I got my check that Thursday. And there are a number of thoughts that run through your mind. I'm studying theology, but you can study theology theoretically, right? God is not interested in just us understanding theory. Life is the real deal. And so I kind of wrestled with this, and we were talking a little bit about this in Sabbath school this morning, about because we're at different stages of our life and our relationship with God, there are areas where everything is not black and white. And so I paused and reflected on this, and I was recognizing God was saying, Brad, I'm asking you to trust me. And so I went ahead and I wrote the check out from my tithes and offerings. church Sabbath morning, and I was living in England, where the city and college was. And the post office is open on Sundays. They're open from Sunday through Friday. They're closed on Sabbath. So I went to my mailbox there, and I opened the little window, and there was an envelope in there. And it was blank. It just had my name on it. There was no return address or anything. So I opened it up. There was $110 in there. So that was, I praise God for that. And that wasn't the first time. I mean, that was the first time. But on 2 other occasions that happened to me as well. Not always the same amount of money, but it wasn't the money. It was just that I saw the faithfulness of God. It just really impressed me how gracious God is. So, we all are in different stages in our experience. But after that, I've never worried about paying my bills, because God has always been faithful. God's gracious.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you for the authenticity of that sharing. In summary, the secret of being content in any and all circumstances is not easy. We live in a culture, in an environment where we constantly hear the message: if it's not easy, it's not beautiful. I would suggest that things that aren't easy, and especially the secret of being content in any and all circumstances, is beautiful, partly because it's not easy. And so, a few parting thoughts as we leave this topic and move on to new things. Number one, cultivate relationships that will help when contentment seems elusive. I'm struck by the language that John Boyer used in his story. I spent the next 2 weeks alternating between faith and despair. That I get. And probably over the course of his 4 years in Southern, it was a lot more than 2 weeks. He alternated between faith and despair. And yet, what was tucked in right behind that? Who reminded him of God's provision for their needs? His wife. Right? Cultivate those relationships. They're so important in navigating challenges like this. Cultivate them in your family, cultivate them here in our church fellowship, cultivate them wherever you can find them. Be the encouraging one. Ask for encouragement. That's part of how we do difficult things that have great rewards, like this challenge of choosing contentment. Give thanks. I heard one person say they can smell a discontent person a mile away because they're complaining more than they're giving thanks. Sometimes those complaints come out before I even recognize what they are. So what I've started to do is, there's a complaint, better find something to be thankful for, just to balance it out, right? That's my accounting line. Okay? Everything's in balance. But when you approach it that way or some other way, give thanks. It's a great antidote and an excellent step towards this goal of being content. And as you journey along, think of the spiral staircase or a winding mountain path, right? It's not a straight path. Sometimes you may feel like you're on a level spot, you're not going anywhere. Sometimes it'll be really steep and curvy, and you feel like you're going to fall off. Sometimes you may be totally convinced you're going in the wrong direction from where you want to go. It's a spiral staircase. So it's not a straight line, and the process goes on and on and on. Remembering Jacob through that curvy, twisty path in his life, and yet near the end, there was that moment. He was on top of his game by God's grace. He was ready for the moment, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Then finally, take this prayer with you. Put it in your pocket, pull it out when you need it, as often as you need. Dear Father, I choose to be content with what I have. Even when it doesn't feel like you have any chance of being content. Even when you're not even sure you want to be content. Dear Father, I choose by faith to be content with what I have. Please strengthen me to continue